Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Prophet74, and today I got a Precision 5540. It's a really good machine. I actually like it a lot. It's a good gaming machine, to be honest with you. It's gaming slash work slash school slash everything. I mean, this could handle a couple other items too. So we're gonna take a look at it and see what's under the hood too, and that's pretty much what we do on all these shows. I also do it the same thing in upgrades pretty much like on my other channel that I have that only talks about pretty much day-by-day usage of machines. This is a gaming show, so I'm going to bring a good beefy gaming machine. If you're out in the market looking for a good gaming machine, this is probably something I will get too. So let's take a look at it and see what's under the hood. It's a little heavy. The base price is about $1,100 to start with. Now, there's a lot of great things you can do on this machine by upgrading. First of all, you go upgrade the Intel chip that it's hosting inside. You could get it from an i7 to an i9 to a Xeon chip, and that's pretty much what I got, the Xeon in here. Now, they do give you 3 different options on the Windows itself. They even have Windows 10 Home, Windows 64, and they even have Linux for those people that like to go beyond programming. So now here's another thing that too. They also add a different kind of GPU on here, and they have the Quadro cards. So they start with the Quadro graphic card, a basic NVIDIA Quadro T1000, and then they have the higher end, the NVIDIA Quadro T2000. So there's different versions of it. If you don't want an Intel, if you don't want a Quadro card or an NVIDIA card, you can always settle for the basic HD graphics 630 card that it's included by Intel. So on top of that, the screen is about 15.6 inches. There's a couple of things that you can do on this, manipulate. There's a lot of changes you can do on the website. When you're going to purchase something like this, you could change and modify it. The more you add to it, the more the price is going to go higher. Now, on top of the memory, you want to include maybe the M.2 included, the solid state hard drive, which you can get up to 2 or 3 terabytes depending on the pricing and depending on the market value. So let's take a look at it and see what's available right now. So right now, currently, I do have a 2 terabyte CPU, M.2 in here, including a Xeon chip in here, and the Quadro, the 2000, the T2000 card. So let's take a look at it and see what you get. First of all, if you guys can see the size, it's really small and slim. I'm gonna demo a little bit. It's really slim. It starts slim in the front, of course, and then it goes a little wider in the back. Inches wise, we're talking about half an inch, less than half an inch on the front, and then this one it goes a little less than half an inch. So if you guys can see, here's the measurement size right here, not even an inch on that one. So really slim. Now they give you a couple of great features in here, if you guys can see that. Now on this location here, if you guys can see it, there's a little button that you push in here, and this one actually tells you how much battery you like. And this battery is huge, and it will last you a couple hours, of course. It has a lock in here, a 3.1 USB, and then a card reader, the SD card reader, if you can see that. Now there's nothing in the back because it's meant for the vents. If you guys can see, this is where the hot air comes out of it. It sucks in the air from the bottom and it pulls it out to the back. We'll pull it to the other side. On this side, there's a couple other items you can do. Another USB right here, and then they give you an old HDMI. Of course, you know, people are still using HDMI, so they're gonna add it completely so you could use it with your monitor. And on top of that, they give you a Type C USB. On top of that, they also give you a jack, a 3.5 millimeter jack that you could plug in here, of course. And then on the back end, they use the power, and this is a power that I kind of was a little hesitant of buying this because of the power. The power is really slim. It's a totally different power from the other Precisions and the other Dells that were available now. They're changing they're going back to the actual plug-in instead. They were starting to head to the Type C connection and powering everything through there, but I don't know what happened at the end. They changed it back, but you can still probably charge it from the Type C because it does have the charging area right here. But recommendation is just use the power cord that it was available with. Now, when you purchase something like this, if you guys notice, there is no NIC card. They give you actually a converter a Type C converter to a NIC card, so you're able to go on your wire internet, of course. Now let's go take a look at it and open it up. And if I open it up, not the full 10 keyboard, all right, that you were expecting for the size of 15.6. It's really slim, but if you guys could see the window itself, it's really thin through the edges, of course. And one thing that you're going to notice that the camera's not available on the top, but it's available on the bottom. Now this is a feature that I didn't like, because basically you have to mess around with the screen to adjust to your view. Now the audio is also controlled through here. The mic, there's a mic in there, and there's a camera in there, and of course people tend to block these things out, and at the same time, what the problem is that with them blocking them out, they're also blocking their mic out too. So that's one feature that I didn't like the camera to be out there, but it's something that they're going with it now. Now, if you can notice, it's not a 10 keyboard, it's full keyboard. The touchpad is a lot different, smoother. This looks like pretty much carbon fiber, but it's not. It's a rubber base in here. It's for a lot of pressure, a lot of movement. It's pretty soft as it is. And of course we have the Xeon logo, the Xeon chip that we have, the power button in here, and pretty much all the function keys that you're going to find everywhere else. Now, one of the great things I like about this monitor is that it's freaking clear. I mean, I've seen an older version compared to this one. It's a lot sharper. I don't know if it has to do with the Quadro card that's built in here, but it's a lot sharper than other machines I've seen so far. I like the weight of it. It reminds me of a MacBook Pro. It's the same features. It's aluminum base all over the back and front. And of course, they give you a little cover, and this is where you actually find your service tag number. If you open this up, you actually find all the information in there. And actually, two more screws are located in the bottom. Those are the screws that are actually holding the keyboard if you ever want to upgrade or change the keyboard, which you cannot upgrade the keyboard, but if among functions, you can always replace it from the removing those two screws, of course. And the keyboard's embedded within the system, but it's a little difficult. You have to actually have some tools, of course, on hand before you remove that stuff. But that's another feature. That's another show. We can do that some other time. But let's compare this one with a MacBook. All right, so here's a MacBook on top of it. They're about the same exact size. I'm putting the MacBook right over it, if you see it. Right over the system, same exact size. Now the MacBook's a little heavier on the weight size, but the MacBook doesn't have, it's not slimmer in the front, if you guys can see it. I'm gonna put them side by side together here. This is the MacBook right here, if you can see it. Mac's a little heavier, a little thicker too. And the actual Precision is a lot slimmer. It's slimmer in the front, and then it gets a little thicker, as thick as the MacBook from the end. So both of them compare. The MacBook's a little larger. I'm going to compare it right here on the side. It's not that much features that are larger. It's just a little, maybe less than a couple centimeters off, but they have the same screen size. But this is a lot more powerful than the MacBook. It has more functions, more memory, more space, of course, and you can do a lot more things because it's Windows space, of course, compared to a Mac. Now, this MacBook is a lot heavier. We're talking about maybe another pound on top of this machine, but the features that it brings into the system, it's a lot different, of course, because we're talking about Mac OS and compared to Windows 10. All right, so let's open up the Precision 5540. All right, so we took off screws 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 screws, and then all you have to do is lift, but you have to find a little corner. Open up. There we go. There it is. There it is. Oh, you just gotta find an edge, and I don't want to scratch it, so I'm putting one of these in here. These are rags in here in the back. There we go. So we're gonna open it up. First time opening this up. See how powerful it is. There we go. Bam. So this machine's a little powerful. If you notice the battery, it is extremely large. We're talking about more than half. It takes a percentage of the whole case itself. Of course, you have 2 memory sticks in here. There's no additional ones. These are the only 2 that we have available right now. Of course, you have your M.2 here, if you see it, your solid state drive in here. And then right here, we have a combination of the CPU and the GPU, of course. They get cooled down completely by the same copper stream area right here, where you actually can see all the air coming in and out. It cools down these copper pipes right here. They're treated already, of course. These are painted, so you won't see any rust or anything like that because they are made of copper. It's a good conductor other than gold. So that's why a lot of parts are made of gold to conduct stuff, like the CPU and GPU. They have they're encoded in gold. They're not fully solid gold, all right? So these things get cooled down here. The GPU and the CPU, they both have the same cooling vents. They both share the cooling vents, of course. And then if you can see, the only thing you could upgrade here is a couple of things that you can see. You could upgrade the M.2, which is located way here in this corner. This is the only thing that you could upgrade besides the memory, of course. And then if you want, down the line, you could replace the battery. So the battery is easy to replace. If you guys could see, it has a couple of screws, and they even mark them clearly here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the battery could be completely, and it even tells you here, disconnect the battery before so you have to disconnect the battery first before you upgrade the battery. So battery's replaceable. And of course, there's two more connections here on this side, if you guys could see it. These are the actual power connections that tie in. So this is where you actually disconnect the actual battery. Once you disconnect the battery, you're in business. You know, it's easy to remove it. The screws pick up, and of course there's adhesive underneath of it, so you got to make sure that be careful not to bend the battery. I've seen batteries when they actually start on fire because people bend them or some sort of friction on there, so be careful on that part. Don't recommend you, if you're not familiar with it, maybe just, you know, tug it up and down and take it out straight up. Memory, like I said, memory could be replaced easy. There's these little two little metal pieces here that you push aside, and the memory comes out. And these are, it tells you DDR4 supported only, all right? So these are the type of memory you buy. And of course, these are the 2600. They could be higher than that. This is 16 gigs, so 16, 16, 32. To put them back down, you push them, it's straight down. Make sure that you don't see the copper. See, if you see the copper here, that's a no-no. So you got to make sure you don't see the copper. Once you don't see the copper, it's not that much pressure, right? All you got to do is push it down, and that's it. It locks in. So right now, currently, we have the system running up, a couple of models that I have, and we're going to do some demos down the line. We're going to do some testing out with this machine, of course, too. And I'm going to put some of the information here. Like I said, there's only 3 parts that you can completely replace. 4, actually, if you're going to include the NIC card. This is the wireless card, and this is 1, 2, 3, and 4 items that you could replace and upgrade on down the line. So the only thing that I consider upgrading down the line maybe your memory, and then maybe upgrading to a higher, maybe more. You want to see more stuff in here, and you want to run more software, you're gonna have to upgrade your M.2 from a 1 terabyte to 2, maybe down the line 5 if it gets cheaper, you know. And who knows, down the line they might change the whole system itself, and it might not even be M.2 down the line. It could be something different, but right now currently what we have in stage is M.2, and you could purchase even faster versions of the M.2, so that's available. And like I said, not that much stuff you can upgrade on this system. Really heavy because of the metallic stuff, but it's durable, and compared to a Mac, it's actually smaller. I like it. So if you guys are looking to enjoy gaming in the market and try something new, this is a great item to have. I mean, it could pretty much handle anything out there plus more. So this machine is basically made for architectural, 3-dimensional architectural. We're talking about game development. We're talking about 3D BIM, and it actually can handle some of the VR structures. So this could be a good gaming machine, but it's not focus on gaming. It's focused more on the, like I said, architectural and 3-dimensional and BIM development. That's pretty much what this machine will bring you. But it could handle your Fortnite, it could handle your Apex, it could handle all the games that are available out there right now currently. But if the market changes where it needs more of the GPU and more of the memory, then it's going to change too. Other than that, before you commence and playing a game, you got to make sure you plug it in, because it does require more power for the fans to run. If you unplug it, you're gonna see a big difference on the gaming itself. It's gonna drop completely and it's gonna slow down. So make sure you plug this in before you start playing. It needs to be plugged. I recommend it. Now that's for the high-end games, but if you're playing something basic, simple, Roblox or anything like that, you shouldn't have a problem with it. But other than that, if you guys like what you guys see, make sure you guys subscribe. I'm your host, Prophet74, and we are out.